Welcome back to digital photography class, and this time around we are going to look at the camera's creative zone. Well, what is the creative zone? Well, we sort of dealt before with the different icons that had to do with the portrait mode, landscape mode, macro mode, and so forth. Now we're going to look on the other side of the dial, which has, as we can see there, more letters that are displayed on the creative zone. And this is for more advanced shooting. Well, P, when you put it in P, the camera sets the exposure automatically. M basically offers the user control over all of the camera settings. AV has to do with aperture priority mode. So here the user selects the aperture that you want to use, and then the camera balances this exposure by choosing the right shutter speed. A TV is sort of the opposite, where the user selects the shutter speed and then the camera automatically selects the right aperture. And ADEP stands for depth of field mode. Similar to P mode, only the camera now shoots for depth of field. Well, let's look at the P, the program mode, our first one. So all of the options on the camera here are locked now, except for exposure. And the camera will automatically choose your shutter speed, your aperture, just like in the green mode, and the safety shift is available to adjust your aperture and shutter speed once the exposure has been made. So it's perfect for those photographers that are just moving away from the green zone, and you can get some very, very nice photos in this program mode. Now, manual mode. For the ultimate in camera control, you use the scale in the viewfinder to adjust your settings and get the correct exposure. You can see the little metering going up and down, lighter and darker, so you adjust till you get the right settings there, and it's in the middle, balanced. And it's good for high contrast subjects or dark and light scene modes that can sort of fool the built-in light meter sometimes. So this gives you total control over the camera. And we can see by the pictures, you can get some pretty dramatic shots in this mode. TV, the shutter priority mode. Well, here you choose which shutter speed you want to use, and then the camera automatically selects the aperture. So if you're shooting action shots, moving objects, or if you're moving yourself, it's good to have a fast shutter speed. Reverse of that would be, let's say you want to freeze frame the water and make it look very misty. There you have a long shutter speed to sort of capture the water and give it that velvety flow. So this is where you would use the TV, the shutter priority mode. AV, this is one of my favorite. Here you choose the aperture, and then the camera automatically selects the right shutter speed. So it's great for landscapes, which I love to do, or portraits as well. And so here, if you need to get the entire scene in focus or just a part of the scene in focus, aperture priority allows you to control that depth of field. Remember, if your aperture is wide open, allowing a lot of light in, you're going to blur out the background. When it's a very small hole, which will take a longer exposure time, longer shutter speed open, but you will get a greater depth of field. So once you understand that and master that, you'll see there's some really nice effects that you can get in that. And you can see with the flower here from f2.8, where you've got a lot of the outside of that flower very fuzzy because it's wide open aperture, to when you go to f22, almost the opposite scale here, everything becomes nice and sharp. So this is the difference that it makes with different f-stops, and you control that on aperture priority mode. Well, depth of field mode here is similar to the program mode, and the camera automatically selects your aperture, shutter speed. The difference is that all of the AF or autofocus points are activated and used to determine your depth of field. So this is great for landscapes or group shots where you want a lot of the picture in focus. Nice depth of field, everything sharp. Well, with these quick little tips and techniques, let's go out and shoot and have some fun. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next class.